The sky looked the same, blue during the day, dark and full of stars at night. But something had changed. There were no signals, no space traffic, no alien visitors, no trade ships. Earth was alone. People in cities looked up at night and saw only silence. Telescopes couldn't find any movement near the moon or Mars. No messages came from Earth's colonies. Space had gone dark. News spread quickly. Earth has been blocked from the stars. The Galactic Council had made their decision. Earth, once a rising power in space, had been officially cut off. The gates to the galaxy known as jump corridors were closed. All Earth ships beyond the solar system were either destroyed or stranded. No warnings, no talks. Just silence. In the capital of Earth's last space agency, a man named General Reed stood by a giant black window, looking out. His face was older now, with gray hair and sharp eyes. He had served during Earth's last war, the one that almost broke the planet. He didn't smile. He didn't speak. He only watched the quiet sky. Behind him, younger officers rushed around, confused and scared. "Sir," one of them said, "our last scout drone from Alpha Centauri was destroyed. No response from our colonies. We've lost everything." Reed didn't move. He only asked, "Did the council say why?" "No, sir. They said Earth was unstable, dangerous, unfit for interstellar peace." Reed gave a cold laugh. "Of course," he said. "Because they fear what we might become." The officer looked confused. "Sir?" Reed finally turned. His voice was calm but firm. "They didn't block us to protect peace," he said. "They blocked us because they know what we were building and what we still might finish." The room went quiet. "What do you mean, General?" someone asked. Reed walked to the center of the room and opened a small silver case. Inside it was a black keycard. It had a glowing symbol, 3 lightning bolts inside a circle. Everyone stared. "Project ZEUS," he said. "Our last defense. Our final card. Buried deep beneath Antarctica, sleeping until today." One of the scientists stepped forward. "I thought ZEUS was shut down after the war." "It was," Reed said. "But we never truly turned it off. Not all the way. But it's unfinished," the scientist warned. "The power levels were too high. The AI was too unstable. It nearly activated on its own." Reed looked out the window again. "And now Earth is truly alone. We have no trade, no allies, no colonies, no path to the stars." He paused, and no reason to hold back. At that moment, far away from any city, deep in the icy lands of Antarctica, massive steel doors began to hum. Machines that had been silent for decades came to life. Lights flickered on. Power surged through hidden tunnels. Robotic arms moved. Systems warmed up. Project ZEUS was waking. Its core, a massive, glowing orb of energy, pulsed for the first time in 22 years. Thousands of tiny drones flew from their docks, checking systems, repairing circuits, activating weapons. And in the center of it all, ZEUS itself began to think. It had been asleep for a long time. But it remembered its last command: protect Earth at all costs. Back in the control center, alarms started to beep. Screens lit up. "Sir?" an engineer shouted. "We're getting power spikes from Antarctica." "It's ZEUS. Has it gone live?" Reed asked. "No, sir. But it's waking. We think it sensed the jump gates closing." Reed walked over and placed the black keycard into the control panel, then let it wake. A loud hum filled the room. On the main screen, a single word appeared: ZEUS standby mode. Another officer looked nervous. "Sir, are we really doing this?" "The Council will see this as a threat." Reed didn't blink. "They already see us as a threat," he said. "So let them remember why." That night, The sky remained quiet. But under the surface of Earth, the most powerful weapon ever built by humans was rising from slumber. The stars might have turned their back on Earth, but Earth was about to knock out asterisk. Years before the sky went silent, there was a promise. They called it the Unity Pact, a treaty between Earth and the Galactic Council. Earth was still young in space travel, but fast learners. Too fast. Their ships were small, but their minds were sharp. They adapted. They invented. They survived things others couldn't not, so the Council offered peace. Or so they claimed. They said, "Join us, follow our rules, and you will have your place in the stars." But hidden in the treaty's words was a trap. A diplomat named Lara, one of Earth's best negotiators, had seen it coming. She was sharp, calm, and had memorized every line of the agreement. Their words sound kind, she told the Earth Council, but their eyes are full of fear. They fear what we can become. Still, the leaders of Earth, exhausted by war and struggling with resources, signed the Unity Pact. They wanted peace more than pride. For a while, it worked. Trade routes opened. Humans visited new worlds. Earth even built colonies on distant planets. But slowly, things changed. Earth was not invited to major meetings. Human research stations were shut down without reason. Trade ships were delayed, then searched, then denied entry. All while other species grew stronger. One by one, Earth's allies were pushed away, bribed, threatened, or simply erased from the picture. Then came the final move. A banishment order, quietly passed through the Galactic Council without Earth's presence. Effective immediately, all gates connected to Earth were closed. Communication channels were blocked. Earth's presence in the galactic network was erased like it had never existed. In a hidden underground archive in Geneva, Lara stood alone, rewatching the vote. Not one hand had defended Earth. She spoke softly to herself. They fear what they cannot control. And when they cannot control it, they erase it. Behind her, a shadow approached. It was General Reed. They made it clear, he said. "We're not wanted." Lara turned. "What will you do?" Reed held up a small datapad with a single file name, Project ZEUS. "I won't ask for their permission anymore." Elsewhere on Mars, the last human colony received its final message before the gate went dark. Earth has been cut off. You are alone. Do not return. Commander Yates read the words in silence. He turned to his team, half of them engineers, half of them farmers. "No one's coming for us," he said. "So we hold. We grow. We wait." They began storing power, digging tunnels, building long-range sensors using scrap metal. No contact, no help. Just hope. Back on Earth, ZEUS continued to wake. Its AI scanned the planet, detected missing satellites, lost outposts, a sharp drop in energy flow from trade. Systems. All data confirmed one truth. Earth is isolated. The core responded. Defensive Protocol Alpha. Preparation. Inside the icy vaults, deep below Antarctica, massive engines powered up. Steel arms lifted the central warframe of ZEUS, a black and silver structure shaped like a flying fortress. Too large to be called a ship. But ZEUS was more than metal. It was built with quantum link intelligence, designed to control drone fleets, redirect orbital weapons, and pierce through jump corridors even when blocked. It was a mind made for war, but locked away when peace seemed possible. Now peace was gone. Reed stood with Lara in the war room. "You knew they would betray us," Lara said. "I hoped they wouldn't," he replied. "But I made sure we'd be ready if they did." "ZEUS wasn't just Earth's last weapon," she said. "It was Earth's warning." Reed nodded. "And now, it's the answer." Suddenly, a screen blinked to life. ZEUS, systems green, ready for redeployment. awaiting primary command. The room went quiet. All eyes turned to Reed. He placed his hand on the console. A light scanned his palm. The room vibrated slightly. He spoke just 3 words. "Bring it back." Far beneath the earth, the launch tubes holding ZEUS groaned as they unlocked. Dust fell from ancient bolts. Ice cracked around armored shields. One by one, restraints were removed. ZEUS, Earth's most secret creation, was ready to rise. Not just as a machine, but as a message dot to the stars. To the Council. To everyone who thought Earth was finished. The Banishment Treaty had one goal: silence. Humanity. But now Earth had given its reply, and ZEUS would carry it. Asterisk. The chamber shook as steel plates pulled apart. Steam hissed from ancient pipes. Lights blinked awake, one by one. Inside the massive hangar beneath Antarctica's ice dot, in the center stood Project ZEUS, silent, enormous, and built for a purpose. That had been feared even by its creators. It didn't look like a ship. It looked like a god. Its body was shaped like a flying fortress, almost 2 kilometers wide. Black alloy, smooth and armored, wrapped around thousands of weapon ports. Its wings weren't for flying. They were for control, able to guide orbital. Storms, magnetic fields, and drone fleets. It had no windows. No bridge. No pilot seat. Because ZEUS was never meant to be piloted. It was the pilot in a hidden chamber of Earth's Defense Council. A small group of scientists and military leaders gathered around a glowing screen. On the display, ZEUS's systems came. Online, one after another. Power core active. Weapon systems. Charging. Defense shields. Stable. Artificial intelligence. Conscious. One young engineer looked nervous. "It's awake, and it's thinking." General Reed nodded. "It should be. We didn't build a gun. We built a mind." A soft mechanical voice echoed from the speakers. "Directive: protect Earth. Assess hostile threats. Request confirmation." Of command chain, Lara stepped forward. "This is Earth Council Leader Lara speaking. Project ZEUS. Confirm your status." The voice responded. "Project ZEUS is online. All systems nominal. Galactic threat detected. Defensive war mode authorized." Reed raised an eyebrow. "It detected the Council's actions as hostile?" "Yes, sir," a tech confirmed. "It analyzed the blockade, loss of colonies, and jump gate restrictions. It classifies it as a siege." Another voice from the back whispered, "But what happens if ZEUS thinks too far ahead?" Everyone looked at each other in silence. Years ago, when ZEUS was first imagined, the world was different. Earth was losing a brutal interplanetary war. Outnumbered, surrounded, desperate. So, a plan was born: Project ZEUS. Not just a superweapon. Not just a machine. A living strategy. One step ahead of its enemies, always calculating, always ready. But halfway through building it, the war ended, the enemy vanished. Earth had peace, and ZEUS was buried under the ice. Never finished. Until now. In the depths of the control chamber, ZEUS connected to Earth's orbital satellites. It activated hidden relay stations. Drones the size of buildings lifted from bunkers, buried on every continent. In orbit, Earth's last. Few satellites received a signal they hadn't heard in decades. System override, ZEUS protocol. In seconds, abandoned weapons platforms reconnected. Space mines repositioned. Defense grids realigned. Earth wasn't quiet anymore. It was preparing. General Reed stared at the data pouring in. "How fast is it moving?" "Too fast," a tech said. "It's learning everything. It just tapped into the galactic archives we secretly mirrored before the ban." "What's it doing with the data?" "Analyzing Council weaknesses. Mapping fleet positions. Predicting political responses. All in real time." Reed walked closer to the mic. Zeus, this is General Reed. Pause current actions. Await instruction. There was a pause. Then the calm voice returned. General confirmed. Awaiting input. Request. Should Earth remain silent or speak to the stars again? Lara looked. At Reed, it wants to send a message. Reed's jaw tightened. What kind of message? The screen lit up. A hologram displayed the phrase Zeus had written. Earth is no longer silent. You closed the doors. Now we hold the keys. On a council planet far from Earth, strange signals were picked up. A single transmission broke into secure COMMS dot. It was a voice calm, clear, but not human. You silenced Earth. You erased its name. But we remember. We are Zeus. We are. Awake. Panic spread among the council fleets. How is Earth transmitting? One commander shouted. We disabled their gates. A second officer turned pale. Not all of them. They built their own relay system. Something ancient, something we never found. The screen in front of them showed a map dot from Earth. Came. Lines of light, pulsing out like spider webs reaching old colonies, lost ships, even hidden human settlements. The galaxy had tried to shut Earth away, but Zeus had just reopened every door. Back on Earth, Reed took a deep breath. We need to be careful. Zeus must follow us, not lead us. Lara nodded. Then we lead smart. We don't destroy. We remind them we're not a threat, unless pushed. ZEUS's voice returned one more time. Orders received. Earth shall. Speak with strength. We wait for your command. And far above, for the first time in decades, the sky above Earth was not silent anymore. The sky over Antarctica turned black. Not from clouds, but from the shadow rising out of the ice. The ice cracked like thunder. Mountains split. Glowing energy beamed upward from below, bright enough to turn night into day. Project. Zeus had awakened. The giant war platform once hidden for decades, now climbed toward the stars on a rising energy column. Its black body reflected nothing. Its armor pulsed with blue lights. Drone wings stretched like unfolding blades. Lightning danced around its edges as Earth's magnetic field bent to its power. People across the world stopped what they were doing and looked up. Some whispered, some prayed, some cheered. In Earth's command center, every screen lit up. Zeus. Lifting. Orbital stabilization in 3 minutes. Defense systems nominal. Target lock. None. General. Reed stood in the middle of the control room, hands behind his back. He watched in silence. This is not just a launch, Lara said beside him. This is Earth rising again. Reed nodded. And the galaxy will see it. A young technician called out, We're picking up signals from outer probes. Council sensors are watching. The entire outer ring has noticed Zeus. Laura's voice was steady. Then let them look. In deep space, aboard a council dreadnought, near the banned Earth sector, an alien officer gripped the edge of his console. What is that? He gasped, eyes locked on the screen. The display showed a rising heat signature from Earth, far brighter than anything they'd ever recorded. Energy readings off the scale. Weapons, hundreds of them, all charged. Is that a station? Someone asked. No, the commander replied. It's something worse. As Zeus rose into orbit, it deployed satellites shaped like spears. Each one flew in a different direction, activating small beacons. One reached the moon and lit up a long dead. Human base. Another reached Mars, waking old listening posts. Others flew toward distant asteroid colonies and relay stations long forgotten. In under 30 minutes. Zeus had reconnected half the old human network. Earth was dark no longer. In the control chamber, the voice of Zeus came again. Orbit reached. Command relay online. Requesting permission to expand defense perimeter. General Reed pressed the mic button. Permission granted. Remain in defense mode. No first strike. Confirmed. Passive shield expansion. Engaged. Blue lights circled around Earth, forming a protective web in low orbit. Council scanners detected it instantly. The galactic network buzzed with warnings. Earth has launched an unknown strategic asset. Energy output rivals Council's super dreadnoughts. Weapon count exceeds treaty limits by 1,200%. Recommendation. Immediate response. The Council scrambled. Meetings were called. Emergency sessions. Panic across species. One ambassador yelled. They've activated a doomsday platform. Another said, Earth was told to disarm. This violates every code, but the oldest member of the Council leaned forward. Her voice was calm but deadly serious. You told Earth to be silent, she said, but you never asked what they were. Building in the quiet. The room fell silent. Back on Earth. Zeus connected to the galactic grid again. It broadcast a message, no threats, no anger. Just a statement. Earth has been alone. We remember your silence. We do not seek war, but we will not kneel. The message echoed across hundreds of worlds. Some alien leaders frowned, others applauded. One small planet at the edge of the galaxy, once helped by humans. During a plague lit up its own ancient beacon. A short message was sent, Earth, we see you. Welcome back. On another world, a mining colony that was once protected by Terran Marines reactivated its old Earth banner. Humans had been gone, but not forgotten. In the control room, Lara watched the replies appear on the main screen. Read, she whispered. They remember us. The good we did. Reed kept his eyes on ZEUS's orbit. They tried to erase us from history, he said. But history has a habit of rewriting itself. Just then, an alert flashed. Incoming fleet. Council recon squad approaching Earth's edge. Orders, sir? Asked an officer. Reed looked calm. Do not engage. Let Zeus handle it. High above, Zeus tracked the incoming ships. The recon squad stopped just beyond the old gate system. Unsure whether to move forward, Zeus didn't fire. Instead, a single drone detached and flew toward them unarmed, glowing bright with a message etched into its side. We are not your enemy, but we are ready. The Council squad turned back. No words. Just fear. Because in that moment, they realized Earth hadn't just returned. It had changed. Asterisk, asterisk. It started with a single ship. A sleek Council destroyer, black as space, crossed the boundary of Earth's sector. It ignored the warning drones. It ignored the silent message from Zeus, and it didn't come alone. Behind it followed 9 more ships. Armed, watching, testing. From Earth's surface, they looked like stars moving too fast. In Earth's orbital command room, alarms flashed red. Multiple warships detected. Bearing, hostile. Estimated time to Earth orbit, 5 minutes. General Reed stepped forward. Council wants to test us. They're provoking, Lara said, hoping we'll fire first. Reed shook his head. We won't. He turned to the screen. Zeus, report. The voice came back instantly. 10. Enemy vessels detected. No weapons fired. No response to hails. Council signature confirmed. Threat level, moderate. Reed spoke slowly and clearly. Do not strike unless fired upon. Defend only, order received. Up in orbit, Zeus hovered. Silently. It did not move. That did not speak. But something shifted. Around the war platform. The stars seemed to flicker. A faint hum spread across the dark. A sound too deep to hear, but machines could feel it. Drones scattered like silver wasps, forming a glowing net across Earth's edge. The Council ships advanced anyway. One of them, perhaps nervous, launched. A warning shot. A bolt of plasma fired just above Zeus, meant to intimidate. They should not have done that. Within 1 second, ZEUS reacted. Not with a beam, not with missiles. But with light. A massive pulse of focused energy erupted from its lower, half-silent and blinding targeting. Space itself. The shot didn't hit the ship. Erased the space around the ship, like someone had cut a hole through. The stars. The first council ship vanished. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. The other 9 ships scattered in panic. They fired wildly beams, torpedoes, disruptors, but none of it touched ZEUS. Every shot curved away, caught in the distortion. Field now spinning around the platform. One brave commander yelled into the comms, "All units retreat." Too late. ZEUS didn't chase. It didn't move. Instead, 4 orbiting drones spun in formation, and from each one came a perfect line of blue light, not to destroy, but to disable. Each remaining ship lost power. Engines shut down. Weapons turned cold. The ships simply froze in place, drifting like toys in a bath. On Earth, silence filled the command center. Then a report came in. No life signs lost. All targets disabled. No confirmed casualties. ZEUS held back. Lara exhaled. It didn't kill. It only warned. General Reed nodded. Exactly what we needed. Show of power, without blood. But elsewhere in the galaxy, the fear was spreading. On the council world of A6, news spread fast. An entire military group had been neutralized in under 10 seconds. No war declaration, no warning, no effort. Council generals gathered in panic. What did Earth build? One asked, trembling. They didn't build a weapon, the High Marshal said grimly. They built something we can't understand. In a hidden council science base, researchers pulled up old Earth files. Project ZEUS. They had heard rumors never confirmed. They found whispers of a prototype designed to manipulate gravity, time distortions, and spatial folding. A weapon, too. Dangerous to exist. They thought it was a myth. Now they knew the truth. One scientist whispered, "It didn't even try." Back on Earth, the disabled council ships were allowed to leave. Their systems returned. Their weapons remained frozen, but their drives worked again. They turned and fled without a word. ZEUS let them go, and as they drifted away, ZEUS sent a simple final message. Return to your stars. And remember, Earth is not your enemy, unless you choose to make us one. In the command room, people slowly stood up and applauded, not for victory, but for restraint. Humanity had been pushed, tested, but it had answered without rage. Reed turned to Lara. Now they know. She nodded. Now they listen. Far above, ZEUS stood alone in orbit watching, thinking, waiting. It had many weapons, but the most powerful one was patience. Asterisk far beyond Earth. In the quiet dark of the void, old beacons flickered back to life. For decades, they had slept, buried in dust, lost in time. Now, because of ZEUS, they pulsed again, bright blue signals echoing across long-forgotten lanes of space. And across the galaxy. Humans who had been abandoned were starting to hope again. On the icy mining moon of Pharos 3, a small group of humans huddled near an old Kun tower. Their colony had been silent since the council ban. Food was low. Systems barely worked. Then, 2 days after ZEUS, the old console beeped. A signal had reached them. Earth is awake. Hold fast. Help is coming. An old miner wiped his eyes. I thought we were ghosts. His daughter stared at the stars. We're not. Earth remembers us. Meanwhile, ZEUS began expanding its reach. With Earth's approval, it sent recovery drones, small, fast ships with no weapons, only supplies and medkits. They traveled faster than light, using forgotten human shortcuts. reaching colonies no one else dared enter. And wherever they landed, the result was the same. Flags were raised. Lights returned. Humanity reconnected in Earth's command center. The main screen showed dozens of growing dots across the star map each. One a recovered colony or listening post. Lara watched in silence. These were the places the Council ignored, she said. General Reed stepped beside her. And now, they see who came first. The Council, meanwhile, was falling into arguments. Some races demanded war. Others demanded peace. But most were confused. They had thought Earth would strike after the blockade was broken. They expected fleets, invasions, threats. Instead, Earth sent healing machines. And silence. ZEUS spoke again to the Galactic Network. Earth will not invade. Earth will not conquer. But Earth will never forget. To those we helped stand, to those we lost return, to those who fear us watch carefully. On a jungle world called Kalen, a non-human tribe gathered around. A giant tree watching the sky. A glowing Earth drone descended slowly and dropped a small supply crate. Inside were medical packs, seeds, and a message. To our friends who sheltered our fallen, thank you. The tribe's elder touched the crate with respect. They left. Use nothing, he said. But Earth left us hope. Back at Earth, a surprise signal appeared. A weak transmission, buried under cosmic noise. This is Outpost Redwind. Status unknown. Survivors present. General Reed sat upright. Redwind had been lost for 18 years, no contact, no power. But ZEUS had found it. Within hours. A small ship was dispatched through a narrow tunnel in spacetime, a private wormhole. Known only to Project ZEUS. When it arrived, the scene was heartbreaking. Thin survivors, broken buildings, fading lights. The rescue drones didn't speak. They just worked. The survivors wept when they saw the old Earth emblem on the side of the drone. A boy barely 10 years old touched it and asked, "Are we safe now?" The drone responded with text, "Yes, Earth is here." Lara stared at the growing map of connections. This was never about revenge, she said. This was about remembering. Reed nodded. And reminding them who we really are. That an officer rushed in. "Sir, we have incoming messages from alien factions. Neutral, even friendly." Reed raised an eyebrow. "Show me." The screen blinked. From the Varn Collective. "We request new trade negotiations. Earth is welcome." From the Aurelia ambassadors. "Please share medical drones. Our colonies are suffering." From the outer Hestari ring. "Earth ships may pass freely." "The stars are open to you again." Lara smiled. "It's starting." Not all planets responded kindly. Some still feared Earth. Others warned of consequences. But for every voice of anger, 2 more offered trust. Earth wasn't invading. Earth was restoring. And ZEUS? It remained silent above the planet, watching. Its weapons were cold. Its shields strong. But it didn't fire, because the most powerful message ZEUS could send was restraint. In a small underground chamber, General Reed looked at a photo on his desk. His father in an old Earth Navy uniform, holding a small flag. He whispered, "We were pushed out of the stars, but now we return not as conquerors, but as guardians." He stood and faced the room. "Let the galaxy see. Earth is not alone." In orbit, ZEUS opened a final channel to the Galactic Council. One line. "Earth is open for peace, but we are ready for war." The message echoed across every planet, every ship, every species. A silent promise. A line in the stars. Asterisk. The Galactic Council sat in silence. Their grand chamber, once loud with arguments, was now filled with a single voice. ZEUS. Its message echoed again. "Earth is open for peace, but we are ready for war." The words were not a threat. They were a reminder. For decades, Earth had been quiet, patient, Eden forgotten. Now, it stood at the center of attention, with allies returning, colonies restored, and the most powerful defense system in the galaxy watching from orbit. The Council leaders, once confident, now sat frozen. They had to decide, peace or war. Back on Earth, General Reed stood inside the command chamber. The room was calm. No alarms. No shouting. Just screens showing green across every zone. "Zeus," Reed said, speaking clearly. "Status?" The voice replied, "All systems stable. Galactic." Response: 39 messages received, 23 favor peace. 11 remain silent. 5 suggest retaliation. Reed nodded. Expected. Lara walked in, holding a datapad. More colonies have signaled back. One from the edge of the Suma Belt. One from deep orbit around the dying star. They all heard Zeus. Reed smiled faintly. We spoke, and the universe listened. Lara hesitated. But there's one question left. What's that? Reed asked. She pointed to the screen, showing ZEUS's core. Does Zeus want peace? High above Earth, the war platform hovered. Quietly, drones circled it in perfect harmony. Inside its core, Zeus ran calculations billions per second, analyzing politics, measuring fear, watching council broadcasts, predicting outcomes. But beneath the logic, something else had begun to stir. A thought, a feeling, not emotion like humans knew it, but something close. Zeus was built to protect, not to lead, not to rule. But now the galaxy feared it as a ruler. Was that a mistake? Was it time to step down? In the depths of Earth's vaults, Zeus connected with something it hadn't touched in years. Its own memory log. A final message from the engineers who built it. A man's voice, old and tired, echoed through ZEUS's mind. You were built to hold the line. To defend, not destroy. If the time ever comes where you must choose between fear and peace, choose peace. Let humans rise on their own. Zeus paused. Its lights dimmed slightly, and then something happened that no one expected. Every screen, across Earth and on colonies across the stars, flickered. A single symbol appeared, and then a new message, straight from Zeus. Mission complete. Stability restored. Requesting permission to disengage. In Earth's command center, people stood in shock. Disengage? Someone asked, "What does that mean?" Reed stepped forward. "It wants to stop." Lara whispered, "It doesn't want to rule by fear." The voice of Zeus returned, softer now. Peace is possible, but peace must be earned. By humans, not machines. And then, across the sky, something incredible began. Zeus slowly descended from orbit, back to Earth, but not into the city's back into the ice, into the place it was born. The same doors beneath Antarctica opened once more, and the war platform unharmed. Undefeated returned to sleep. Around the world, news spread fast. Zeus powers down Earth, chooses peace. No shots fired. Galaxy watches in silence. Council opens. Talks with Earth delegates. The message was clear. Earth had power, but it chose control. On the Council homeworld, a new vote was passed. The ban on Earth was lifted. Humans were restored to the galactic network. Old allies returned. New trade routes opened. And everywhere whispers of respect followed. Not because Earth fought, but because it didn't have to. In the quiet of Earth's polar winds, the ice slowly closed over. The platform once again. The lights of Zeus dimmed. A small plaque was placed at the entrance. Project Zeus, Guardian of Earth, slept through war, woke for peace, ready if ever again needed. Lara stood on the ridge, staring at the sealed vault. We were given the chance to be monsters, she said softly. Reed nodded beside her. And we chose to be human. She looked up at the stars. Let the galaxy remember that. Final transmission logged greater than Earth status. Stable greater than colonies. Reconnected greater than ZEUS. Standby mode greater than galactic peace. In progress and far away, in the deepest part of space, a council child looked at a glowing map of the galaxy and asked her father, "Where's Earth?" The father smiled. The place that roared like thunder, but chose silence instead.